Welcome, ladies and gents, to podcast number 4 of Local Heroes. So we're over here in Las Vegas, and this was the first one I recorded out here with Mr. Chingon, owner of world famous Americana Tattoo. So my wife Lily has been guesting at his shop. A couple of years ago, she was guesting out here. Now he's got a even bigger shop with more guys. And yeah, I've just sort of been watching his shop develop and grow and his tattooing, grow over the last few years. And when I initially decided that I was going to start a podcast, Tony was on the top of the list for somebody that I wanted to sit down and have a chat with, because he embodies the whole notion of hard work pays off. You know, he's built an awesome shop out here in Las Vegas, and is just an awesome guy and an interesting guy to have a chat with. He's definitely got some awesome stories, all the way from we talk about him getting shot in a bar fight and a close encounter with a great white shark while he was diving. His inspirations, where he started, all that sort of stuff. So it was a super fun podcast, and I really appreciated Tone sitting down with me. Just the shop, Americana, is an awesome shop. You know, my wife Lily obviously is working there. There's 10 sort of tattooers in there at all times, and they're all really lovely guys, hard working, and it's just a very warm, welcoming sort of shop, and it's just such a unique individual shop as well. It's just awesome theme. So it's sort of in that Chicano style, but sort of each section has got its own vibe, and every time I go in there, something else sort of catches my eye. There's so much cool artwork in there that the guys have done, and the toilet's like a Sailor Jerry theme. There's a Day of the Dead sort of section at the back. There's like a big stuffed fucking bear at the front of the shop. So it's just got an awesome vibe about it, and very warm and very welcoming. So if you're in the Las Vegas area and you're looking to get some ink, I definitely recommend that you make an effort to get down there. It's not far off the strip. So, guys, if you are enjoying the podcast and, if you're liking it, then please subscribe, and please share with your mates as well. So I've got it on iTunes and also on YouTube. Every week I've been putting it up on my social media. So, yeah, I appreciate the support, guys, and I hope you enjoy. So I'm going to hit record here. Guys, we're just sitting in the back of Tony Chingon's truck that you just bought, C10 Chevy, eh?
1988.
88, looks sick, man. Just sitting at the back of the tattoo shop. We can't go in there because boys are still tattooing. It's 10 o'clock at night and the machines are still running.
That's right, busy shop.
Yeah, man. So how many people you got here, just kicking it off? How many people you got at the shop here?
I want to say I got 8 stations, and they're all full right now. I got guest artists that come in all the time, Lily being one.
Yep.
I got a floating station that has, so we have about 10 artists here, full time, rotating throughout the week.
Yeah, and I've been meeting all the crew. Obviously, my wife Lily's been working at the shop, and mate, I have to say straight off the bat, I told you this when I came in the other day, but you've doubled the size of your shop in the last couple of years since we were away. But man, your shop looks fucking, honestly, it's probably my favourite shop in the world. Like in terms of the way you've done it up and the style, the way that you guys are styled up. I'm not trying to blow wind up your ass. I just really admire the shop that you've built. So,
thank you. No, I appreciate it, man. I mean, I really put in a lot of time into the shop, and how I wanted certain things. Everything has a place. The way I see it, it's a lot of organized chaos. These are things that I've been saving throughout my career, throughout my life, actually. I got a lot of stuff on the walls and stuff on, a lot of knickknacks here and there, stuff I've been collecting. I'm a big collector.
Sorry, Bruss, I'll just get you to speak into the mic. So, yeah, just speak directly at it.
Sure.
Sorry, guys, we're just sitting at the back here, at the back of the shop. There's a bit of traffic burning past in the background, which you'll probably hear, but yeah, it's a sick spot. I'm fucking loving it, man.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Like I was saying, it's just some place I wanted. I spend a lot of time at, so I wanted to make it feel real homey. not only for myself, but also for the customers, you know, providing some real, it's got a real good, nice feel, you know, nice vibe and very positive and just a fun place to be.
Yeah, it is, man. Absolutely. It's got a good vibe. Every time I come here, I just love seeing the boys and seeing what all the work that everyone's doing. And
Yeah,
it's a good vibe, man.
absolutely. Thank you. That's important to us, you know, because, you know, happy tattooers are going to do good work and everybody's happy, customers are happy, everybody's happy. So.
Well, I reckon any crew, if you're in Vegas, just as a preemptive, make sure you make an effort to come out to Americana. If you got Lyft these days and Uber and shit like that, it costs you fucking what, $15 from the strip or something. Be fuck all.
I think even less than that. We're only about 2.5, 3 miles away from the strip.
Yeah, so just
Flamingo.
Yeah, if you're in from your around the world, you listen to the podcast. Make sure you make the effort to drop in here because it's a fucking deadly shop. Anyway, let's roll on, bruss. So,
okay.
So this podcast, I'll just tell you, it's a little bit about local heroes. So it's just about dudes doing cool shit that fucking never have a voice. You know, you want to talk to people that are doing cool shit.
Thanks for reaching out.
That aren't like, you know, crazy dickheads, whatever. Just dudes you want to have a yarn with. And man, you're a local hero around here, Tony.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Never saw myself as that, you know, just trying to do my own thing, but thank you. It's nice to get recognition, I guess.
So where did you start out, Bruss? Where'd tattooing begin for you?
Well, you know, I was born and raised in San Diego, California. I've been an artist. I've been trying to be an artist my whole life, you know, and, you know, since I was a kid, ever since I could remember picking up a pencil.
So you're always drawing and shit, eh?
Always been into art my whole life. Very inspired at a young age by one of my uncles, Juan. He's a world-renowned artist. He's well known. He's been on TV. He's been doing all kinds of stuff. And you know, as a young kid, he lived up in Sacramento, in Lodi, which is up North California, about 9-10 hours away. Anyways, anytime he'd come to visit, you know, he always, you know, just inspiring the way he was with art and everything. And I just remember looking up to him so much. And growing up, you know, I'm hitting about junior high now. The graffiti was at an all-time high in the late 1980s.
So you were a graph writer?
Yes,
yeah,
I also
nice,
had a graffiti background,
yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah,
my
man.
brother was a big inspiration. My older brother, Luis, also just growing up in the neighborhood, you know, it was brand new to the West Coast. It's something that started on the East Coast. It was brand new to the West Coast, but so I was lucky enough to find.
What was your tag, Bruss?
I had a couple names, but my last one that I rolled with was Dews. It's kind of like Mountain Dew, but Dews. DEWS. That was my name.
Yeah, nice.
So, you know, but yeah, so, you know, always been into art, doing the graffiti thing. And then, you know, as I got older, always sketching and doodling, always, you know, sketching and drawing. And, you know, and then high school hit, you know, and kept always doodling. And then life hit after high school. And art was always, it had to be on the back burner because I had to get a real job and start working, you know. I never thought in my wildest dream that I would be getting paid to do what I love, you know, so.
Man, that's excellent. Yeah, that's awesome. Because this is what this podcast is about for me, is just having a chat with people that are probably sitting on the fence. You know, they might be good at something and they want to do something.
Absolutely.
And they got some shitty job that they're fucking just not happy with.
Absolutely.
So, you know, it's about fucking taking that sort of bit of a leap of faith and jumping off the cliff, isn't it? Because when did you start? You started a bit late, didn't you?
You know what? That's funny. I'm glad we're talking about that faith, because that's what it really all came down to. I was about 24 years old. I had a lot of previous jobs, a lot of jobs before this, but my last job I was working construction as a carpenter, building houses, and did that for about a good 6 years. I was really good at it. I loved it. It was great, but I was just pretty fed up with life and just fed up with the way things were going. Not that I was doing bad or nothing, but just, you know, a lot of my friends were getting older, friends were getting married, some were going to jail, some were dying, you know, getting lost on the streets and everything else. And I just looked up one day, looked out my window, you know, very cliche, whatever you want to call it, but looked up at the sky and I prayed to God like I never prayed before. And I seriously, it's a true story. I cried. I remember asking him, I just want something where, you know, where I'm worth something and just be remembered and be appreciated more than anything. And 2 days later, I run into a friend of mine at the beach that I didn't even like this person. I don't know if I want to call him a friend yet, but little did he know he was going to save my life later, you know. So I'm walking down the boardwalk right there in San Diego, California, in Pacific Beach. And I run into a guy that, you know, I knew from the neighborhood, and he happened to be working at this tattoo shop that was right on the beach, and he was like, hey, I'm looking for an apprentice for piercing. Now, I just knew at that moment when he asked me that my prayers were answered. I knew at the moment. I didn't even like to pierce. I don't even know nothing about piercing them. But here I am. I'm like, you know what? I'll take it. So I didn't, and that was my foot into the door, into the tattoo shop, you know, and I love to draw and stuff. But anyway, it's just, I knew at that moment when he gave me his shop t-shirt and I put it on for the first time, I just knew I was home and I knew this is where I belonged, and I didn't look back, you know. As soon as I got that apprenticeship, it was a small light at the end of the tunnel, but every day it just kept getting brighter.
When you're tattooing your apprenticeship, you don't get paid, do you?
No, you don't get paid at all, actually. I was very lucky. I found a quick job. Downstairs was a tattoo shop. Upstairs was a Hooters casino. A Hooters restaurant. So I got a job as a dishwasher working at Hooters.
Loving it, bro. That would have been epic.
It was great.
That would have been fucking epic.
Let's just say it was nice to come to work every day, you know. The girls made it really nice.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. So you started out on the beach in San Diego?
Yes. This was the summer of about 2003. It was the summer of 2003. I got my apprenticeship. I got my foot through the door, you know. And then the name of that shop was called Monster Tattoo. Very well-known shop, well-respected, owned by a really good friend of mine, one of my mentors, who we have a funny story how me and him met, but that's a whole different story.
It's a different story. Yeah, we'll save that for the next podcast.
Yeah, but it was funny because I ended up at his shop and he ended up recognizing, like, hey, I remember you, and I'm like, okay. Anyway, that's a funny story.
Yeah, sweet. So that's how you got started out, man. And so then when did you come over to Vegas?
Okay, so yeah, I did my apprenticeship for about 3 months. The guy who brought me in, his plans were to bring me in as an piercer, show me the ropes. He wanted to sell me his portion of what he was renting and all the jewelry and all the stuff that was involved with the piercing at the shop. And his plan was to sell it to me and move to Vegas. So 3 months later come by, he's asked me, all right, Tone, so what are we going to do? I said, you know what, honestly, I don't like piercing. I can't do this. I'm not really into it. Plus, he was charging me a little more money than it was really worth. So I got advice from other people not to do it. So I didn't. But anyways, long story short, I don't really like piercing anyway. But by then, I already gained the trust by everybody that at the shop and everything. They liked me around. I was a hard worker and everything. So I asked the boss if I could... hang on a second. Sorry about that.
So old mate's rolling in on a sick looking rig. So I got a couple photos of the box out the back, so I'll post them up after the fucking when I do the show. But yeah, you boys have got some mad fucking bikes out here too, bro.
Yeah, we got big boy toys.
Yeah, bro. There must be some good shops out here, eh? They do some good work, man.
Absolutely.
Sick looking bikes.
We do everything out here.
Yeah, that thing looks fucking pretty deadly too.
So yeah, I mean, back to what I was saying. So anyway, by then I got the trust with the guys. I asked the boss if it was okay if I continue my apprenticeship as an artist, and they took me in under their wing. You know, I lasted for about a good year and a half, and then I ended up leaving the shop. Things were getting a little crazy at the shop. It was time to go, so I left and ended up moving to Vegas with the same guy who brought me in that, you know, offered me the piercing and all that. He brought me in, and since I was a carpenter, I came out here and helped him build his shop, and I continued my apprenticeship with him. And then that lasted for about a good 4 or 5 months, and then I met my wife within the first 3 months I was here. And you know how they say people come to Vegas and gamble. Well, I met my wife, and in the first 2 months we knew each other. We had an unexpected surprise
arrival. So hey, was it first 2 months?
Arrival, yeah.
Yeah, my little fella, when Lily arrived, it was 6 weeks.
Oh, there you go. So things happen.
He arrived quick too, yeah.
And by the way, we're still married. You know, it's 13 years almost. This year will be 13 years now. So
yeah, doing well, man.
Yeah, moved down here in 2005, by the way, Vegas, and Vegas has been home ever since.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, so you mentioned a little bit before about your uncle being a big inspiration to you, which I think is awesome. It kind of excites me because, like, growing up, I didn't have too many, not a lot of artistic kind of inspiration, but I think growing up and having a young fella that's going to be exposed to the arts with the shit I do. Like, it excites me that they can sort of pick up on that stuff early and start early and
Absolutely.
find that as a passion and an opportunity to, be able to develop it.
Right. No, it was just one of those things. I was just really impressed by the way he carried himself and the way.
You mind if I grab one?
Absolutely, please do. I just was impressed by the way he just carried himself and the way, it's just the respect that he got. I remember being a kid and going down to Rosarito in Baja, Mexico.
So he would have been like an early tattooer then, like he would have been doing some cool shit.
Tattooing wasn't his thing. He was more of an abstract, real, like very, very. In his paintings, he shows a lot of message. He has a lot to say in his.
Oh, so he's a tattooer there, yeah?
He's not a tattooer.
Oh, okay. So he was just a really good artist, a painter.
A painter.
Wow. Okay.
Very well-known painter.
So what was his name? Sorry, I'll have to look him up.
His name is Juan Gonzalez.
Juan Gonzalez.
Painter. It's my uncle, yeah, my tío.
And what sort of without having looked it up, what sort of paints did he used to use and shit?
You know what? I'm confused. I'm not sure if they're acrylic or oils.
Yeah, right.
Say,
okay.
But
maybe a blend, maybe both.
Maybe both.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Sick, man. I'd love to have a chat with him too, bro. Whereabouts is he?
Well, he's up north. He's up in a little town called Lodi.
I'll go visit him.
It's a little north from Stockton. He's worth the visit, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, sick, bro. That's
he's
exciting.
Somebody that you would really enjoy.
Yeah, man. That's defs, bro. I'll fucking make a point to go up there just for that. So who's some other artists, like tattooers, or even just artists, people that inspired you along the way? Because, I mean, obviously you're in the arts. So who is the people that kind of guided a lot of your inspiration?
Well, there's too many to name, to be honest. There's so much influence out there these days, and so many people that I have respect for that have been paving the way for guys like me for a long time. I don't even know where to begin. But off the top of my head, I want to say people like Tim Hendricks. I love his style. He does a lot of traditional, there's a lot of Chicano style, traditional. He does a lot of realism. I mean, the man can do pretty much any style of tattoo, which is something I'm trying to, as a skill level, I want to get to be able to do anything that walks through the door and do it right and do it well. And, he's somebody that stands out to me.
Like an all-rounder.
Absolutely.
Yeah, nice.
Somebody who's a real tattoo artist.
Yep.
To call yourself, to me, in my head, to call yourself a tattoo artist, you need to be well-rounded. And, it's more to it than just, perfecting your own little style that you think you might be good at. It's about paying respect and being able to do it all.
Yeah, man. Yeah, no, that's that's a good perspective, because a lot of people these days, like you said, get sort of set in one kind of genre, and I reckon sometimes they must get bored, because unless they really love that style. But I feel like if I was doing that and it's the same shit every day, you'd want to kind of mix it up and do some other crazy shit, wouldn't you?
Absolutely. As an artist, you always want to keep growing. You never want to stay cornered. You never want to think you know it all. It's always about growth and taking it to your next level as an artist. We're never satisfied with what we're doing. We're always
trying to develop
and perfect it. But
that's the most fascinating thing about fucking tattooing, I think, is like these things are like on people for the rest of their life. So you're not like you're trying to. Yeah, a lot of these tattoos that people do too. Like Lily says all the time, I don't know if that'll hold, that won't hold, So there's a lot of thought that's not just doing something like temporary. You're doing something hopefully that you're thinking
longevity-wise.
Yeah, it looks good when they're 60, 70, 80.
I'm glad you brought that up, because early on in my career I chose, I fell into the American traditional style tattooing, but not by choice. Me coming from a Chicano neighborhood, I grew up in National City, which is a suburb out of San Diego. It's very Chicano influenced, a lot of lowriders, a lot of gang members, and, just the whole barrio lifestyle. We're really into just pencil drawings, ballpoint, pen drawings and stuff like that. So anyway, when I got into the tattoo world, I had to learn a whole new style of art, and when I first got introduced to traditional, I was like, wow, it looked like a little kid drew this, not knowing that those are the godfathers, not knowing, that those are the guys that paved the way for the tattoo world, that made it to what it is today. Because the style that I grew up in, again, there were a lot of the guys from the neighborhood, they were coming out, out of jail and getting these, crazy images, a lot of religious images, a lot of, Mexican imagery, a lot of, clowns and payasos and stuff like that, lowriders and stuff like that. And
Virgin
So
Mary, shit like
exactly.
that, huh?
So growing up in the lottery, and everything, being in this tattoo shop now, I was around a lot of, I don't mean to say it like this, but a lot of white guys, and all my friends were pretty much white boys who took me under their wing, and it was all about traditional at the time. So I once I tried it, I figured, wow, this is very difficult to do. So I really was intrigued. Again, as an artist trying to grow, I was like, wow. So I fell in love with the fact that it is simple and then less is more. So in time, I developed my own style. At the time, early on, was like a Chicano American traditional style. Taking imagery from Mexican background and Chicano background, but making it in a simple style, make it more bold and
Make it a bit more
tattoo style. Yeah,
bit more white boy.
a little bit more white boy, a Southern California white boy. That's
Yeah,
right, boy.
that's sick. No, it's good, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, so
But no, it's cool that you're sort of developing it. Like I've been obviously
I mean, I was really
watching
young,
you too,
helped pioneer some of that stuff. I'm not saying
Yeah.
I'm the only one that was doing it. I'm not saying I was the first one to do it, but definitely very early on doing it. Helped pioneer that style, the Chicano tradition. There's a big difference between, realism, Chicano stuff, and the traditional style. So
Yeah, no, that's sweet, man. It's I'm watching you develop, and like even in the last 2 years, because 2 years ago Lily came and guested at your shop too, when it was half the size. And I was actually going to touch back before on like when you're talking about in your apprenticeship, in your tattooing apprenticeship, because you had the construction background. Not only did you have the tattoo experience, you'd already had some shop fit tattoo experience as well, which, man, that gives you the inside lane a lot on this beautiful shop that you built.
Like I said, I just believe everything I've ever done in the past has led me up to become a successful tattoo artist and successful at what I'm doing, because God has a plan for all of us. I just feel right now is my time, and I saw opportunity, and I jumped on it. What happened was, yeah, you're right. When you came, I was one side. Next door to me was a Mexican ice cream shop. Excuse me, and they went out of business, so I didn't think twice. I jumped on the property, the unit, which was exactly the same size as the one that's existing now, my shop. So it was a no-brainer. I pretty much mirrored what was on one side right onto the other. And again, like my boy said, you got to check it out. It's definitely somewhere you got to at least take a look at. It's worth looking at.
Yeah, man, absolutely.
So when opportunity came, I just took advantage and jumped on it.
Yeah, Lily was here a couple of years ago. The shop's gotten bigger, but your tattooing has diversified too, man. Like I've watched you in the last 2 years. Your tattooing style, like just doing a lot of realism now and really challenging yourself with that, and it's looking sick.
Thank you. Thank you so much. That means a lot to me.
Yeah. So just watching it develop, man, it's cool. Watching artists develop, even Lily, like you said, you never fulfilled. You always want to just try and improve, which is awesome, and endeavor to get your artistry better and better. And having a big shop like you have with 11 guys too, you guys are, it's like
yeah, absolutely,
you guys are all sort of pushing it and pushing each other and developing it, some dude just fucking flicked a cigarette over a block fence.
Can I get my soccer balls back?
Jesus.
No, you're right. I mean, like I said, people don't know this. It's a secret, but I would do this for free, and I charge a very fair price for people to, let me do what I love on them.
Yeah, so I guess we'll touch on something there real quick. Like, I remember you put up a post, it was about 6 months ago, and it was like, it sort of cemented my appreciation for you and what you do. And it was sort of like, there was probably people just fucking talking shit or sort of giving you shit for the $500 tap out.
Right.
Sort of thing. And you're like, fuck you guys. Like, I know what it's like to to earn $500. Like so go fuck yourself if you're going to judge me. So you guys are doing like awesome work, but you're making the price fair for your guys as well.
Absolutely. Well, number one, I'll just never forget where I came from. Let's start there. Number two, I know what it takes to make $500 in a week, and if you're gonna come and donate, give me $500 to do something I love, especially, we'll get into that tap out. There's a little history behind that, but at the end of the day, I would do this for free, and I still love what I do, and every day it's an excitement, it's a different day. But Can I get in the tap out? How that was brought up?
Yeah, bro. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Well,
Yeah,
let me tell you really fast. Okay, so we mentioned. Okay, so.
Oh, hang on a sec. Okay.
I'm sorry.
I'll just quickly I'll jump onto Americana Tattoo. So the shop's called Americana.
Yes.
And so yeah, it started in 2014.
2014, I bought the shop.
Yeah, and then so you've obviously kitted your shop out real sick, had one side,
Right.
and then when did you do the other side?
Okay, real quick, let me mention something that's kind of important.
Okay.
Believe it or not, this tattoo establishment has been here since, I want to say 2007. I actually worked here and helped open this place. After it already opened, they had things going already, and the guy who owns it, we also worked at the same shop in San Diego. His name is Bundy. We call him Bundy, but his name is Shandon.
Oh, so I didn't know. So you know, so
I
Bundy.
used to work here. Yes.
I didn't know that. So
Yes.
Bundy owns Bad Apple.
No, Bundy owns Showroom Tattoo.
Showroom.
He also owns. He's partners with Gianni Russo. They own Broken Dagger Tattoo.
Yeah, that's right. Okay,
Yeah.
and that's how you and Lily met at Broken
That's
Dagger.
exactly where me and Lily met.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so I didn't know that you knew Bundy from
Me
San
and Bundy,
Diego.
we go way back.
Oh wow, I didn't know.
We're family. That's
I didn't
like
know
my
that, bro.
Big brother. Oh
okay.
yeah, he took me
Well,
under
shout
his
outs to
wing
Bundy, bro. Yeah, I didn't know that's how you
shout-outs
knew
to
each
that
other.
guy.
Yeah.
It's somebody you guys need to look into because he's
Yeah,
worked it as well. And
Lily worked with Bundy too.
Yeah,
yeah.
very solid
That was her
tattoo
boss.
artist. So, like I
And
said,
that's how
I've
yous
been very
met.
fortunate to be surrounded. When I landed from San Diego to Vegas, I was very fortunate to be in the right circle at the time with all the right tattoo artists because there's a lot of, whatever. But
there's a lot more shops now, like
There
everywhere.
is.
There's a
There
shop
is.
on every corner. So when you're in
Absolutely.
that old world of just, there was less shops and you all sort of knew each other and it was like,
Yeah. It was a small circle, and it still is. Everybody knows who's and what's going on. But you're right, shops just popping up.
It's everywhere, man. Yeah, but they ain't popping up like this one.
So I bought the shop in 2014. I used to work here at the time. It was called Last Chance Tattoo, and it was owned by Bundy and another famous, world-renowned, very famous tattoo artist by the name of Ryan Downey. He owned the shop. They were partnership. They opened up Last Chance Tattoo, and they were doing good. They opened up another one on the east side of town. Now, I started at the east side of town, and then I ended up making my way over here on the west side of town, which is Last Chance at the time, which is now Americana. Like I said, I worked here. So when I bought the shop, I knew what I was getting into just for the fact that I knew the amount of walk-ins that would come through all the time.
So with the fit out, was the fit out already there, or did you change the fit out? Because there's fucking even just that fit out that you got in there looks nice, just timber and
No, that was put in by the owner that came after Last Chance.
So Last Chance, Bundy walked away from it.
He walked away, and they went through a few owners after that.
Okay, so it went through a few.
It went through quite a few different owners.
Yeah,
and
nice.
then the last one who owned it is a very well-known, badass tattoo artist as well. I bought it from. His name is John Merrill.
Thanks, John. You
John
really
Merrill.
pimped it out.
No,
so everyone pimped out along the way, or?
Well, hold on. I just gotta say this. When I bought it, it was nice.
Yeah, it was nice.
It was nice. It just wasn't
But
up to my liking. It just wasn't what I wanted. It's like when you buy a car. Are you gonna leave it stock? Or are you gonna do what you want to do?
Yeah.
So something like that.
You're gonna pimpify it.
Absolutely. And
nice.
so I ended up buying it from John in 2014, and it is what it is today. And I just so real quick, back to the $500 tab. This is what happened. Can I get into that?
No. Well, this is the thing.
Okay, I'm sorry.
See, Tony, these guys have got this fucking strong weed, strong as fuck, man. So we're trying our best to keep it together, but Jesus Christ,
I'm sorry.
That shit fucking is super strong.
I just thought the tap out story is kind of important.
No. Okay, hang on.
We'll get back to that.
Well, I was gonna go to the dress code, man. I love your fucking dress code, bro.
Thank you.
So where did that start, man? And then we'll go jump on tap out.
All right, we'll jump. Okay, real fast. I'll try to make it short. This is what happened.
You're right, Bruss. You fucking take your time if you want, man.
Okay.
There's no rush here, bro.
This is what happened. I went to a wedding that I got invited to in San Diego. One of my good friends, a childhood friend of mine who I consider a cousin. He was getting married, and I haven't wore a suit in a very long time, So I went down to Greenspans down in Los Angeles, right there in Southgate. Went to a store, very well famous store, Greenspan. The reason I'm bringing it up. I went in there, got some nice clothes, went to this wedding, came back, told one of my guys that works with me, his name was T. His name is T. He don't work with me anymore, but he's on it. And I told him, I said, man, I haven't dressed up in a long time, man. It felt so good to go this way. And I got some, you know, since I've been heavily tattooed, it's been a long time, you know. So he's like, you know what, Tom? Why don't you come tomorrow? Come dressed up, you know, and I'll come dressed up, and you know, just you know, let's do it. I was,
So it was just like one day.
yeah, we just did
So
it for
you
fun.
went to,
It was for fun.
what's the name of that shop? Greenspan's.
Greenspan. That is a store.
It sounds like a fucking franchise, but it's not.
No, it's not.
It's
been
gangster.
It's gangster. They've
Okay.
been serving the lowrider community since 1928, I believe.
Greenspan.
Yep, right there in South.
Yeah, nice. I'm
California.
gonna go drop into that shit.
Absolutely, you should.
So is there like some like independent owners?
It is. I
independent shop?
believe an old Irish family owns it. Very cool cat. I
Nice.
met him once. A very cool dude. They've been in the barrio for a long time.
I'm gonna go check that shit out,
You
bro.
should.
Yeah.
They sponsor a lot of movies and stuff like that.
Oh, nice.
Mhm.
Okay. So yeah,
So
so
anyway-
the dress code like was just started from that day.
Right.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I came in. We took, you know, and me and T were just hanging out, and we took a photo in front of the shop. Like, fuck it, let's take a photo. We're looking good. Fuck it, why not?
Of
We
course.
took a photo, right? So we posted on Instagram, and this is probably like the most likes we
Cunts
ever.
of profit.
This is the most likes we ever got on anything. So I was like, you know what? There it is. That's what
There
we're
it
gonna
is.
do. That's what
There
we're
it
doing.
is, man.
And it matched the name. We
Oh,
had
bro.
everything. I mean, because there's a lot of antiques
Right.
in the shop. There's a lot of stuff to look at, and it just goes the
Oh.
name and everything
You
just came
guys,
together. The
dude,
universe
you guys
and
are
God
tight,
is real.
tight AF,
God
man.
is real.
Tight AF. I've never seen I haven't seen anyone in the fucking modern era dress as sharp as you guys dress
Thank
daily.
you. Thank you.
I mean, I fucking
The look
I
has
love
evolved.
you.
The look has evolved.
But then the missus went down shopping because she had to get to the dress code. Went and spent like she's like, don't worry, I'll make it back, you know, and whatever. But you
she's
know,
been busy.
yeah,
Good
you've
for
been
her.
looking
She's
after her
been
too,
good.
man. Like you're a
She's a
fucking
sister to
legend.
me. I
Yeah,
love her.
yeah,
She's
love it,
blood.
man. That's
She's blood.
awesome.
She's family. So
It's
are you,
much
man.
appreciated, bro.
Absolutely.
Hey, and yeah, I guess it's a shout out to any artists that want to come and guest too.
Absolutely.
Tony
A big shout
Chingon
out, man. You guys
looks
please
after
come
these
out here.
people. Yeah,
Come out here. Come guest spot, man. Love to have you guys. Get
Yeah.
to know you guys. We could all learn
he cuts
off
a
each
good
other.
deal, man.
And hey, you know, mi
good dude.
casa's tu casa.
Hey, all right, that's sick, bro. I really like
Absolutely.
that. So yeah, the dress code. Yeah, now let's go to the $500 tap out, man. So where'd that fucking originate?
Well, the $500 is what happened, right? Like I said, I bought the shop, right? And it was, I had two artists that were existing at the time. They were here with me. And within 2 weeks, both of them pretty much got up and left me alone. So now here I am. I have a house, I got a family, I got kids, and I got this brand new shop. And now here I am by myself. I'm like, holy shit, what am I going to do? So I said, you know what? It didn't even have the name $500 tap out yet. It was just, give me 500 and I'll do whatever you want for as long as you want. I
So
don't care what it is.
you initiated that like
I
off
did.
your own back straight
I
up.
did, just because
Wow.
I knew what it takes to make $500
Yeah,
a week.
yeah,
So if I
yeah.
can make it in a night, fuck, I'm
That's
blessed.
good.
I'm
Yeah, you're
blessed.
doing good.
Thank you, God. Thank
Yeah,
you.
nice.
Thank you. And thank you for the tattoo gods as well.
Yeah,
And you know
nice.
what? It just took off. It kind of snowballed little by little. Word got around. And before you knew it, I was swamped with work. And shit, man, it helped me not only, you know, build my shop the way I wanted it. It made me pay back the debt
Just
that
on
I
your
was in.
just on your own.
Absolutely.
Oh wow, that's
Yes.
awesome.
And then
there you go.
But little by little, I did. Artists
Yeah.
started coming in, and I got my
You
buddy.
built it up, man.
Yeah, my buddy Tommy, T, Renee, Jesse, and Tony. They were all here since the very beginning.
Shout outs to the team.
Absolutely.
I heard
the
you
very
shout outs to
original.
them on Insta the other day and said, you guys, much respect and love. I appreciate y'all.
Absolutely, they were
Yeah.
they were there with me from the very beginning.
And that's nice,
that
man.
means a lot.
It's good that you do that.
Because
it's
they
sincere.
believed in the vision and
Yeah.
they believed in what
Sincerity,
I was doing.
man. Yeah.
Absolutely. Without, you know, we need people to keep moving forward in this life.
That's
you
what
know?
I like about your tone is that you're fucking sincere. You know,
you,
there's
brother.
cunts out there that whatever they social media wise are fucking way bigger, but they're fucking not sincere, man. Like you've got appreciation, which I admire.
Well, you know,
and you
gotta
got
stay
that.
humble.
Stay humble and then also
Stay hungry.
yeah, stay hungry, but yeah, keep those values that you have because a lot of people
because like I
start
said-
blowing up and then start going like, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
$250 an hour, da da da.
Nah,
You know what
not
I
me,
mean?
man.
Get selfish.
I'm still very, very reasonable. I'm here for the working class because that's who I do it for. I'm for the working class, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah, oh, bro, should we talk about that fucking when you did tattoo that dude that got the 40 mil contract or not? I'm happy if we just roll on from that.
That was a little bit sad. That happened, you know, in the tattoo world. Unfortunately, we do sometimes.
I love that, bro. I love it.
Yeah.
We'll roll on it. Yeah, so you have tattooed some famous people anyway.
I have. I've been fortunate, you know, that we crossed paths and I've been able to, you know, do what I love on them. So.
Yeah, that's sick, man. So, I guess the next question is, bro, like, we're in Las Vegas. Fucking Las Vegas, man. How do you sustain being in how long you been here?
I've been out here since 2005, so it's going to be 13 years this year.
Yeah, so how do you sustain that, man? Like, this place is Party Town Royale, man.
No,
this
absolutely.
is like fucking,
Absolutely.
you know, this is crazy place. There's so much good music here. There's so much good fucking culture. There's so much good, like, we just went to a gig last night and had a great time. But, like, there's just, at certain times, especially coming into summer too, which Lily always used to, before I met you, Lily always used to tell me, you'd be like, oh, put weight on over winter, and then in summer get ripped as fuck.
We gotta get the cuts for the sluts.
Yeah, bro. So we gotta get ripped, bro. Summer's coming,
Absolutely,
man.
It's just, you know, you gotta put the weight on, you know, when you're hanging out with the holidays. It's the holiday weight, you know.
Yeah. So, but people,
but no, out here in Vegas,
people would be interested in this, man, because man, I remember seeing you. Like, I always see you just get ripped in summer, I guess. That's what I see, because it's the motto. It's live by the sword, die by the sword. But man, like how do you, like, you were telling me about that 30-minute exercise last time. What was that shit, bro? That shit looked epic.
No, it's awesome. It's a T25. It's by Sean T, same guy who did Insanity, that workout. I did it for a while, and I'm gonna tell you guys the truth, man. I'm living proof that shit works.
You used to shred, bro.
Oh yeah,
I'm keen. Let's jump on that shit.
Yeah, let's do
down.
it. I'm down.
Hey,
Summer's here. Let's get
I'm ready to get my anaerobic capacity going.
Let's do it.
When we go to Mex, I want to surf, bro. I want to have good anaerobic capacity.
Oh, great already.
And strength. But I gotta just.
But it's more about looking great. It's about feeling great.
Well,
that's what's important about this program. I'm gonna tell you why. Because it tells you what to eat. You eat. It tells you how many meals for your calorie, for your weight, for your height, for your age.
Wow.
You know, so it's very important. It breaks it down to a science to what is going to work for your body and your body type and your goals. And it helps you reach your goals.
Well, me and Lily went on a carb-free fucking thing. All these cunts have been talking about. All good. If you're doing nothing, all good. You're not burning them. But if you're doing like a bit of high intensity exercise, you probably need a bit of fucking,
like I said, you need your
you need some tortillas, bro.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially
when
we're
tamales. You need those are the Mexican power bars.
When we're living with Mama Rosa.
That's right.
I cut out tortillas for a week, bro. It's breaking my heart.
I'm telling you, man.
Yeah, so no, I'm keen to just exercise and fuck that carb-free shit off, man.
No, but yeah, absolutely, man. It's important to stay healthy, you know. I'm getting
but sustaining life in Vegas, man. So,
well, you know, I'm going to tell you like this.
How do you fucking
Vegas,
maintain it?
I think you have to learn how to live in this town. Moderation's everything, you know. I've been partying my whole life. Life has been great. Life has been a party, you know.
Bro, you still doing all-nighters, though?
I'm still doing all-nighters, you know. I'm fucking 40 years old, you know what I'm saying? But shit, I still got it. Don't be hating on your boys. No, but like I said, it's all moderation. It's
Uber's good too, man. Uber's good.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, plenty of sleep and just, you know, like I said, there's not a lot of, let's just say there's not a lot of doors in Vegas I can't open. I had a lot of fun out here. All right, we'll just leave it at that.
Sounds good to me, Russ. Sounds real good to me. Oh, this is a great one, man. I didn't know about this until the other night when I rolled in, and I'm probably slurring my words a bit. I just had one of Tony's drinks. I think it's a double vodka. What's the
man drinks? Here,
oh, bro. I meant to drive home. I hope I'm fucking 0.06 over here, isn't it?
You'll be all right.
Oh, well.
It'll buff out.
See how we go. Getting shot. Yeah, I didn't know about this. You were telling us the story the other day about when you got shot. You want to tell?
Yeah, fortunately, it's something that happens. You know, we just never know what's going to happen. It happened in 2007, California, my own hometown, San Diego. I was out. I was actually going to catch a flight next morning, back to Las Vegas, and I went out to meet up with some old friends and some family members, and you know, I get to the bar and we're hanging out, we're dancing, we're chilling. At the end of the night, you know, things got a little confusing. Somebody came up, and you know, California lifestyle, food just hits itself. Hey, where you from? Whoop-de-woo.
Yeah, but is that all Cali, or is that?
Know, when you look the way I look, and you're Chicano, you know, and you're full of tattoos, and you know, it just raises eyebrows, I guess. So people want to test your nuts from time to time, but so you know, he comes up, starts asking silly questions, you know, about where I'm from, whoop-de-woo, and you know, and one thing led to another. Before you know it, we're fighting and I'm kicking his ass, and I give him a chance to get up because I felt bad. I was already beating the shit out of him, so I let him get up, and that was probably my mistake, you know. And when as soon as he got up, when his friend came over to scrape him up off the ground because he was bleeding everywhere all over his face, I was pounding on him. I let him get up, like, come on,
but
we're
what
not
did he?
done.
No,
So
no.
I let him get up, and that was my mistake.
But he started it too, though.
He did start it. He did come up to us, and he's like, hey, where you guys from? I go, bro, we're all from San Diego. It's all good. Nobody's gangbanging. Like, I'm good, man. I know we're all tattoo artists, you know. Don't let the tattoos, you know, get you on a different direction. So he wasn't having it. He didn't give a shit. Like, where you from? Where you from? And he kept pushing it. And I was like, bro, where are you from? And he told me he was from, and I was just like, are you fucking kidding me? Get the fuck out of here.
He was from the burbs.
Yeah, like, you know, just not even.
That shit, he wasn't packing weight from the hood, bro.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I grew up in a neighborhood where, you know, you know, yeah, you had to be with the business.
You knew how to scrap.
Absolutely.
Every cunt knew how to scrap.
Absolutely.
Even the nerds knew how to scrap.
Absolutely. Yeah, exactly. So, you know, like I said, fool was gangbanging and acting tough, and his friend came to pick him up, and when he picked him up, the dude pulled out a pistol and he shot me. And luckily...
So the dude that you beat the shit out of...
Yeah, he got picked up and he pulled out a pistol right away and shot me. But you know what? I got very lucky because at the very initiative when it all happened, when he asked me where I was from, and I kind of made, not fun of him, but kind of like, what? Are you serious, bro? He didn't like my reaction, so I seen the punch coming. The punch was coming, so I braced myself. He hits me in the face. I grab him by the shirt, and there was 2 cars between us. So I drag him at the end of the car, and I turn around, and I spin, and I throw him on the ground. I jump on top of him, and I start pounding the shit out of him. And then that's when I let him up. I felt bad, you know, he's bleeding everywhere. I'm like, oh shit, I'm gonna kill this guy.
Yeah, this is hectic.
So you know, I said, oh shit. So I got up and I said, hey, you know what? Get up, man. Let's see if you still got some, you know. But that was my mistake. I should have, because as soon as he got up, he pulled out a pistol out of his pocket and shot me, which was okay because had initially, without punching me in the face first, he could have just pulled out the pistol and shot me in the head right away. So, you know, hey, here we are today, and I'm not gonna lie, it was a scary moment. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna act tough, but. So I got shot, and then I ran back.
But where did he shoot you, bro?
He shot me.
He almost shot you in the dick, bro, didn't he?
I'm not lying. Luckily for me, I got a little dick. No, I'm just kidding. No, but it's right there, homie, like right above.
Bro, so he was aiming right above fucking dick, like so fuck you,
I don't think he was aiming. He was just holding his face, and he just aimed and shot.
Just shot.
And the next thing you knew, I seen the back of his Cortezes running. Boom, his Nikes. Running. I was like, you motherfucker. So I ran back in the bar. I take off my shirt, no blood. I pulled my pants down, and they just started squirting out like Kill Bill, you know, just blood everywhere. It was nasty. So I was like, oh shit, this motherfucker got me in an artery. Shit, I'm gonna die. And my cousin was with me that night, and my buddy Flox, which is another world-renowned tattoo artist, big letter guy.
Shout out to Flox.
Yeah, big shout out to my boy Flox from SKA.
FLAX.
From San Diego, Southeast San Diego.
FLAX or FLUX?
What's that? Flox is FLAKS. Flox.
Okay,
Mr. Flox.
FLAKS.
Yep, that's my boy. He's a good friend of mine. And he's been a part of my journey.
Shout outs to Flox.
Shout outs to Flox. And my cousin Sleeps.
Yeah, you know? Nice. Shout outs to the boys.
Shout out to my homeboys back home. But anyway, long story short, you know, it's funny because I ran back into the bar where I got shot, and I even told the bartender, listen, man, I just got shot. I think I might die. Can I get a beer?
Can I get a beer?
Let me get one for the way out. You know? And then I told my primo, you know, my cousin, I was like, hey, man, I might be dying. Just make sure you tell my kids and my wife I love them, man. I'm out, bro. I'm a mom, you know? So anyways, I get in the ambulance, blah, blah, and everything. But here I am today. So, you know, again, God works in mysterious ways.
So they stitched her up, and where you go?
That's right. I mean, I was walking within 2 weeks.
But what was it? Was it a 22?
I think it was a 22 caliber.
So it didn't blast through the back. It just sort of bounced up, didn't it?
That's the thing. That's the thing that the doctor said. He was like, you know what? You're lucky today. He said, happy birthday. And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, well, you should either be shitting out of a bag or paralyzed or dead. And none of those things happen. You're walking away. You're good. You're so lucky. It's like throwing a tennis ball into a
'Cause, yeah.
fence and hoping that it gets stuck in the fence. You know what I'm saying? So it's and the bullet's still in me. I remember when after I got
bullshit.
shot. I swear to God,
It isn't.
after I got shot.
How do you get gone through airports and shit?
I was gonna. Well, that's funny you bring that up. Listen, so it's a true story, man. I'm trying to get my way back to Vegas, and right away I get stopped at the airport. There,
of course you do.
It went
Look
off.
at ya.
The lead, it went off, man. Beep, 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 you know, and I'd had to explain the story, what happened.
So, because you went to the Philippines and Japan tattooing, didn't you?
Yes, I got invited by the Tribal Gear Worldwide.
Shout outs.
Shout outs to my boys at Tribal, Bobby Ruiz. That's one of my big mentors, big bro. He's somebody who flew me out there and got a chance to experience Philippines, Japan, and just representing Tribal Gear and West Coast clothing and the lifestyle.
It's lucky. So they obviously didn't want to dig into the muscle to pull the bullet out, yeah?
Well, they pretty much said it was like digging a needle out of a haystack.
Yeah.
So it would do more damage
it's
than
deep,
good.
trying to get her out.
So yeah, if you ever have any problems, come back. And you know what, it's 2018, and I'm good still, so I'm all right.
If you had softer muscles, they probably would have rolled through. It probably would have rolled through. I went out shooting the other day with my brother-in-law. 22s. They don't fuck around either, man. Like, I thought that
they tumble.
I shot this 22 rifle.
Right.
Man, I was nailing shit at like, I don't know what you'd say, probably 30 meters. And I'm like, holy fuck, this thing's accurate.
Oh,
you know
absolutely.
What I mean?
That's a hunting gun.
Yeah.
No, yeah,
crazy.
But it's also an execution bullet. That's what they put in the back of some people's heads, and they make your whole brain rattle because they're designed to tumble. So anything it hits, it tumbles around. That's why when the doctor said that, there's so much going on in the pelvis area.
Yeah, you're lucky, exactly.
I got very, very lucky. So,
That's
again,
hectic.
God is real. It's been a big part of me, and that's the reason why I got a big Jesus portrait on the top of my head, so that way he knows that I know. I mean, we're both in cahoots with who's boss, which is him. Absolutely.
So yeah, the old Ink Masters. So I jumped on, had a look at the old Ink Masters competition.
Yeah.
That looked pretty exciting, man. Like, I get pretty nervous. Like, I'm even just nervous sitting here talking on the microphone, man. That looked pretty nerve-wracking, like being on the camera doing.
You know what? There's a little history behind that. It's something you're going to need to know too, because I was supposed to go on Ink Master season 9 before I went on the Ink Angels.
Okay.
So they hit me up. This is what happened. True story. A friend of mine who's been on the show already, King Ruck, right? King Ruck. He's been on Ink Master several times. I ran into him at First Friday down here in Las Vegas.
Yep.
Big art walk. I ran into him. He's like, "Hey, Tom, you ever been on TV?" I said, "Yeah, I have before, but why? What's up?" He's like, "Hey, I need somebody to come with me to Ink Master. They're looking for new people, blah, blah, blah." So he's like, "Hey, but we have to go on there representing my shop, saying that you worked here, and we're going to go on there as a team, and we're going to go represent my shop." I said, "Okay, you know what? That sounds like a good opportunity at the time, right?" I was thinking, it sounds like a good opportunity. So we came to the shop, and we did a little quick demo, us talking shit about other competitors and we're representing Vegas and his shop and this and this and the other. But then in the midst of it all, after we were done doing our little show and submitting it to the producers, at the end I said, "You know what, King, thank you so much for the opportunity. Thank you for everything, but this doesn't feel right. This is not, I've worked so hard to get my ass to where I'm at, to own my own shop and everything else, that I cannot go on national TV in the world as a lie and as a fraud. You're my boy and I respect you, but thank you, but I have to turn this down." So, he said, "Hey, Tone, I respect you, man. No worries, dude. Do what you got to do." I said, "Okay, thank you." So, but at the time, I already had an interview with the producers from Ink Master. And so next morning, I have a quick interview with them. And then, I tell them, "Hey, listen, I'm not going to go with him. I'm going to, I'm going to have to back out. But if you want me to go, this is what I got to offer." It was like a FaceTime type of interview, like a webcam type of thing. So I picked up my iPad and I took a quick video around the shop and showed them, "Listen, if you want me to go, this is what I got to offer. This is who I am. This is what I represent." And they liked it. They liked the idea, so they went with it. So they led me on for 3 months. I was supposed to go. I was getting prepared. I even flew out to England because I'm very big on the suits that we wear at my shop. You don't just
I was
wear
wondering why you went to
here.
England, Russ. Yeah.
We wear suits,
There you
but
go.
we wear tweed.
I was like, why the fuck
listen,
are you in
this
England?
is important.
Yeah.
We don't just wear fucking suits. We wear nothing but fucking tweed suits. and boots. We look like old Englishmen. Why? Because I love the stilo. I love the style. One day I was, like I said, my man said, we did start the dress code. I got it at Greenspan. But what happened was I was sitting back one day watching the Peaky Blinders. And I just watched that show, Peaky Blinders, on Netflix.
I haven't seen it, right?
Never seen the Peaky Blinders.
I'll check it out.
I highly recommend it. Anyways, it's a show about English mafia guys, badass dudes, right? But the way they get up, right? We're already wearing suits, but I was looking at the show, I was like, why does this guy look so good? I figured it out. It's the material of the suits that they wear. It's tweed. Very important.
There you go.
Because if not, you look like a fucking broken salesman. You look like a goddamn somebody who works at T-Mobile or at the bank. You know what I mean? Tweed is a big fucking shit. But that's what people don't notice these days in 2018.
Bro, I just saw Jimi Hendrix's fucking jacket. Have you seen that one at the Hard Rock?
I haven't seen it.
Bro, I reckon it's tweed.
Tweed.
Oh. Dude, I can see some gangster
so
shit,
he understands the tweed.
Oh.
So listen. You cannot find tweed, a three-piece suit. You cannot find in the United States.
So you went to England.
You're going to pay top dollar. So anyway, I made the trip to England, thinking okay.
With your homie too.
With one of my guys. Because they said, do you have a partner? And I said, yes. One of my artists, his name was Sketch. I said, I got a partner. We're ready to go. Let's go. Okay, bring him along. He sounds great. They strung us along. We did the psych test. We do all kinds of bullshit, a bunch of ropes you got to jump through before you get there. So anyway, we passed it all, okay? We get to England. We're going over, we're buying suits. I spent I don't know how many thousands of dollars on suits and a bunch of bullshit that I wanted, right?
Yeah.
And that's a whole nother story about the whole Peaky Blinders spirit being with us.
Okay, I'll look that shit up,
That's a whole different story. I got to get into that because it's very important. But anyways.
Okay.
Man,
I think we're about to blaze up a bit more of this fucking... What is this shit, man, from the dispensary?
Actually, this is from a home grower.
Yeah, nice.
It's very good.
Yeah, it's strong as fuck.
So I get back home from England a week before we're supposed to fly out to New York. I get the phone call. Your guys, we're not going to need you anymore. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding? And they were cold-blooded. They were like, what's going on? Yeah, we don't need you guys anymore. Sorry, guys. Bye. They're very short. I'm like, okay, whatever. And at the time,
some fucking gangster suits in England for this shit.
Yes.
Sincere. That's what I love, bro. I love the sincerity. See, a lot of people that just fucking, I don't know, go down to fucking...
No, man, this is not a look. It's a lifestyle. That's the thing. Bro. It's not a look. Anybody could try to fucking do all this. It's a lifestyle. That's the difference. That's what's real.
Well, man, like, myself personally, I love the country and western shirts. And even, like, being down in Mexico to some of the rodeos and shit.
Yeah.
Personally,
real cowboys.
This is the thing, bro. Personally, I'm not a fucking cowboy at all. I surf, but like, there's a certain style you like to roll with, bro. You know what I mean?
We're all cowboys.
Like, you got the 20s white boy look, and I'm pulling the
absolutely.
I'm pulling the bloody Mexican cowboy look. So fuck it, you know what I mean?
Behind that.
I love it. That's awesome.
Yeah. But yeah, no, so we came back and they turned us down. And so, I thought nothing of it, whatever. And it was a great opportunity for me because I was building a shop in San Diego. But that's a whole different story. But anyways, trip out on this. I was back in Vegas. I was talking to one of my guys. And out of nowhere, we happen to be talking about the situation that happened and how they turned us down, whatever. That same freaking day, I get a text message from the producers. They were like, hey, we have a new proposition. We want you to come on the show. We're going to come to your shop. We're going to expose your shop. We're going to let people know who you are. You get to compete, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, dude, once they mentioned my shop, because I'm not, I don't care about TV and none of that. But once they mentioned that my shop was going to be in, I was like, oh,
fuck yeah.
The world needs to see what's going on with Americana Tattoo.
Yeah.
That's real because it comes from the heart, It comes from the barrio, it comes from everywhere because you know what? That's the name. Americana is for everybody, for every color. It's for all of us.
That's what I like about it, Russ. Yeah.
History. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's not a this, not this, not that. It's all of us. We're all in this motherfucker together.
Bro, this is the thing that fascinates me about old Trump fucking building the wall. Because this is the thing, like one of the things a lot of people don't know about Mexico and the US is that it was only like 150 years ago, a lot of America used to be Mexico.
Well, one thing I got to say real quick, we didn't cross the border crossed us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's trippy, man. Like, no, but a lot of people don't know this. I never learnt this at school, bro. It's 150 years ago, the Americans moved the border down way further, and they fucking pretty much where a lot of Mexicans live now, it's very close to where probably their ancestors were living 150, 200 years ago. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely. Some of us never left.
That's
you know
insane.
I mean?
So I think Trump. Well, what are you going to do, Trump? You're going to put it on the old fucking line or the new line?
Right.
You know?
Right.
Because if I was Mexico, I'd be like, yeah, I'll build it, but I'll put it on the fucking, you know.
Right.
I'll put it on the old line, not the new one. It's crazy, bro. I never knew about this shit until like 4 or 5 years ago. So it just fascinates me about history, bro.
Uncle Trump is doing some
whack shit, eh?
Doing some crazy shit, you know.
Yeah, he's a loose unit, that dude.
You know what's funny? When I was in England, I'm not gonna lie, man, I was almost embarrassed to be an American.
Yeah.
I almost played it off like I was from Mexico.
Lily,
I didn't want them to know I was American.
Right, when it went down, Lily was devastated.
They found out I was American, like I felt it, because that's the first thing they talk about is our politics.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, I try to stay out of that shit as much as I can, but hey, I guess it's a reality.
But this is the thing is like, because even my wife Lily, she's like, I just stay the fuck right out of it.
Absolutely.
And I came from Australia, where Australia, like, you watch it, you talk about it, and you fucking people vote based on shit, policy and stuff.
You're all in or you're all out, you know.
So Lily was out, man, and then she saw Trump. She saw Trump get in, and I think it's an awakening because she's like, fuck.
No, absolutely.
Are you kidding? She's like, this shit's hectic.
They're about to deport. This is one of my good friends. He worked here at Americana. He's a Salvadorian. You know, and he was a really
his family's
good
about
guy.
to deport.
He's about to get deported.
So this is the real shit that this shit is doing.
This is happening, man. And he came over here on political asylum. So it was at war. His country was at war. So he came out here when he was 12.
And so they're trying to boot him out of political asylum.
This man, my friend, is now what, 40-something years old, and now they're going to deport him. He might have family, whatever, but his life is here in America.
Well, all I can say for those dudes,
tragedy, man.
All I can say for those dudes is I hope they saved up a couple bucks.
Well, that's
because you can go down to El Salvador, get yourself a sick block on the fucking beach too.
But let me tell you this: it's easier said than done. Salvador is not; they don't have a lot of human rights.
I got some friends that are building some shit there. I got some mates that are building an eco farm or some shit.
You know, but let me tell you this: it's somebody. He's not as adventurous as you, and all he knows is
I just know
America.
dudes that are building an eco farm down in El Salvador.
Right. But what I'm saying is, all he knows is America. His kids here, his wife's here, his whole family's here. His tattoos
could be an opportunity though, bro.
It could be.
Like all I'm saying is,
lemons make lemonade, I guess. Hey, sorry, El Salvador.
Bro,
my respects, but no gracias.
Bro, if I got kicked out to Mexico and everyone said, "Hey, you got to go to Mexico,"
different.
I'd go, "Okay."
Mexico's cool.
I'd go, "Fuck you, Australia, catch you." I'd fucking sell my house and I'd move there. I'd go buy a little block in fucking Baja, East Cape or some shit.
I mean, hey, we're meant to survive, and I believe anywhere you go, if you're a good man, and you will stand on your 2 feet anywhere you go.
True that, bro. True that. And I think that's okay. Let's get a bit philosophical here. But my true view on consciousness itself is the fact that, like, you're me and I'm you, like everyone's experienced in the whole fucking world. It's just consciousness.
Absolutely.
All it is just people seeing shit, you know?
That's it, man.
And you think, I'm an individual because I'm this and that, but we're fucking all connected, bro.
We're just part of the machine, and we're just part of a bigger plan, I believe.
We're all connected, bro. We're just consciousness. Like, if I dropped out, came up and experienced everything that, like, jumped into the new machine, which is some genetic predisposition,
right?
The consciousness is the only thing that's connecting it all,
Absolutely.
and the DNA is doing the rest of the work biologically.
That's it, man.
How
Enjoy the ride.
crazy is that?
Enjoy the ride, man. That's all I can say.
Yeah, bro. So I've just got a good one here for you, Russ, because you told us a story the other day. Because I was saying, the podcast is a surf tattoo, and you're like, bro, I don't surf, fuck surfing. So tell us about your great white encounter and what sort of dissuaded you from
growing
from
up in
surfing.
San Diego, man. San Diego's a big surf town too. I used to love the ocean growing up. I mean, even homies from the barrio go to the beach and hang out at the beach, and I used to be big into bodyboarding, and I remember going out to Imperial Beach, which is a very famous spot as well. It's one of the last beaches before you go into Mexico, right there in San Diego. In the lower left.
Yeah, no.
So, just always going to Sandy, being at the water and stuff. Throughout the years, I've always enjoyed the water and stuff. But, in my early, I was about 19, I want to say, about 18, 19 years old. A friend of mine, he started taking scuba classes. And he's like, come on, Tone, let's go try this shit out. I'm like, you know what? Let's do it. Fuck it. I'm down. Let's do it. So we went, we took the classes, we took all the, everything we needed to know, and then boom, we have to do hours under the ocean before you become certified. So we went out, first they teach you in the swimming pool. We're at the city college doing some little swimming, getting used to breathing and stuff underwater in the swimming pool. But then once you go out to the ocean, that's a whole different story. So we're out there, and we're swimming along the side of this mountain. We get away from the class. The class is gone now. And the visibility, wasn't very good either, in San Diego and California.
Low vis.
That's
a bad time to be out, bro.
Vis in the Pacific, cold, it's dark.
Some kind could mistake you for a seal easy.
Oh, absolutely, man. So we're down there. We're swimming along the side of this mountain, man. We're going down. We're about 70 feet down, and the current's getting strong. There's a lot of underwater currents going through. And my buddy, I remember we're going back and forth under the water, and he yanks on my leg, and he points down, and there's this big shadow of this humongous, fish. I didn't know what it was. It was a shark. That's what it was. So he tugs on my leg, and he points at it, and he wasn't that far away. And again, there was underwater current, so this current ended up throwing my friend into the shark. The shark got spooked and took off. But I wasn't sitting around to wait. I was already halfway up. And I remember I was 70 feet down. And I remember in class they were like, just do not go faster than the bubbles or your lungs can compress. And we got to put you in a compression chamber and all this shit. So anyways, I remember. So imagine you're scared. You're 70 feet down. You got to be patient with the fucking bubbles. You know what I mean? So you're going up and you got to pace yourself. Anyways, I get to the top. I take my mask off. I look at shore. I'm a good fuck, man. It's far, bro. Land is far. So I'm like, how the fuck did this happen? But you know what? So anyways, I took off. I swam as fast as I could. I got to the beach. I took everything off. I said, you know what? My respects to the ocean. I'm never getting back in the water. So, but you know what? Luckily that happened. I'm going to tell you something. Because we were very unexperienced divers, we weren't even paying attention to our regulators that told us, how much oxygen you have in your tank and then with this and that and the other. And had that not happened, bro, we would have kept going. And before you knew it, we run out of air and we're 70 feet down and we're with weight and all this shit. And I would have panicked and died. Okay? So I think that shark fucking saved both of our lives that day.
He's like, boys, you don't want to come down here. You don't taste that good anyway.
Again, I also never felt so defenseless. I felt like I was in the wrong neighborhood and about to get killed. You feel me? Like it was all bad. And you know what? I was not even mad at the shark. If he would have ate me, he had every right to eat me because I was in his turf.
Neck of the woods, huh?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And
but
they don't like us. They don't like our taste, bro. They like
say they don't.
shit, bro.
They say they don't, but I'm not sticking around to wait.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you a true story. I went to Hawaii. I was at the North Shore. And I love Hawaii. I grew up watching this movie, a surf movie, North Shore. Do you know that movie?
Right, I gotta look it up.
Yeah,
man.
The North Shore. It's an old 80s
I feel like
movies.
a kook. I haven't fucking seen it.
Look up North Shore. It's about this guy from Arizona who wins a check in a surfing pool, wave pool. He wins a check because he wins a competition. Dude, watch it. It's a great movie. Oh my God. How could you not?
I'm on, bro. I'm on.
So anyway, I'm in the North Shore and I love this place. And again, in the 80s, I grew up in the 80s, so this movie was a big movie to me, right? So North Shore was like, oh man, when I get older, because growing up in San Diego, we love the water, we all love the ocean, we're people of the ocean and the sun and everything, and so Hawaii is like the ultimate, and, guys from us.
Oh, it is, man. It is for the world, bro. Like Aussies, like everyone, if they want to fucking like be a surfer,
so I got a chance
you got to
go
surf
there.
Hawaii, man.
But you know what? You don't know what the ocean's really like
it's
when you
so
feel the North Shore.
heavy, bro.
It's strong.
It's so intense.
You put your feet in the sand and you're right at the edge. You can feel it pulling you in like, amazing
That's
power.
shore break, man.
That's real shit.
That's shore break.
But again, I didn't let it pass my knees because if I can't see my feet, I'm out.
Then, Hawaii's definitely.
And I love it. I can't wait to go back.
And they've got like hundreds or like 100 islands, some shit like that. They got a lot of islands.
Yeah.
So you can go to the few, but there's a fucking heap of them, can't say.
Yes.
I'm keen to go for a little explore.
Yeah. Lots of good hiking out there. Lots of good exploring.
Bro.
Lots of beauty.
It's exciting, eh? So fucking, like, justifiably, I feel like my wife, she's from inland Mexico, so she's paisa, as you would call it.
Super paisa.
So it's kind of like, that's kind of for the white boys out there, it's kind of like rural, isn't it? She's like rural.
Nah, she's authentic is what it is. She's
Authentic.
She's authentic Mexican, and it's something that that's to be respected. You know, my grandparents, they come from Jalisco, you know, from Guadalajara, and that's where I originated from, my bloodline. But you know, I'm first generation American, this side of the border, Chicano, you know, and you know, I'm proud to be a part of my history, you know, just to be a part of what my people and my family came from.
You love your grandma, eh?
Absolutely.
I love my grandma. Shout out to Grandma Jen, Grandma Jill.
To my Grandma Paulina.
Yeah, so this is what I was getting at just before, Brass, was so we were down in rural Mexico. This is when I just met Lily. And we were going down to Oaxaca. And I was like, I dragged this surfboard all over fucking Mexico because I wanted to go down to Oaxaca and surf, you know. So anyway, I've got the surfboard. We fucking dragged it, like, you know, all around fucking the family cars and shit. Like, made it to Guanajuato, the grandma's house, and grandma's going, Lily, you don't go in the water. There's sharks in the water. Sharks will kill you. You fucking go nowhere near the ocean. Like, you stay, like, you'll die. And it is, bro. You get there and you're like, holy fuck, bro. Like, you know, these waves are heavy, man. I rolled in, I'm like, this shit's been coming from Antarctica.
Yes.
Like, I can see why people would just be like, fuck that.
Yeah. No, it's scary, but, you know, it's a price to pay, you know. It's a surfer's dream, you know. You're either a surfer or you're not. Just like a motorcycle. You're either a biker or you're not. You're either a fucking homie or you're not. Like, there's no in between. There's no faking the funk, because at the end of the day, you're gonna get, you know, revealed, homie. There's no faking the funk, man. You know, because when you're a real surfer, I respect those dudes, because hey, like I said, growing up in San Diego, I got a good handful of friends that surf, that have been fortunate to go around the world and go to Costa Rica, places like Philippines and places like that.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's the same thing, man. It's like tattooing.
It's like,
surfing's the same. It's a culture.
Absolutely, it's a culture.
It's like you can travel the world doing it and meet people, meet cool
the thing
people.
Is, I just wanted my advice before you know we end this thing, whatever. I just want to say, man, follow your heart, follow your passion, because when you're true to yourself, it's a real rewarding. It's a real thing, and life's too short to be something else. Be yourself and follow your dreams, and don't be afraid. Just believe. And the universe will answer you. Just be careful what you ask for.
Nice work, Mr. Tony Chingon. I think we've covered a few bases here this evening, man.
Gracias. Good times. I had a good time. Thank you.
Yeah, man. Epic. I just got one more quick question for you, man.
Please.
So where do you see yourself? Obviously, you've developed your fucking skill in the last 10 plus years. Where do you see yourself in another 10?
Well, I'm going to say Vegas is going to be home for a while. I don't think I'm going anywhere. I'll always be home, I think, now. I think I'm going to open up another shop. Right now, we are serving the local community. We are in the trenches. You know, we're away from the shop. I'm away from the strip. As a comparison, I don't want to scare you guys. Not too far from the strip, but in comparison to other shops that are like walking distance, you feel me? But we're definitely worth the walk, and we're definitely worth the ride. But I feel like I'm going to open up something closer to the strip and get some of that tourist action, you know, and really pioneer, you know, just be part of what's going on right here in Vegas and take advantage of it.
Man, I saw a fucking tattoo shop at the container park there at downtown. And I was like, oh, fuck, just a little container with a fucking, and it looks sick.
That's all you need.
It looks sick.
Yeah, that might work.
Yeah, like, you know, but you got mad shop rent as well, so you got to take that into account.
Absolutely. I mean, it ain't easy, but hey, you know, life's a risk, and we're in Vegas, so hey, you got to take a gamble. You know, life's a gamble, man.
Yeah, life's a gamble. High risk investors out here, eh?
It is, but hey,
yeah, you know, have a shot at the title, bro.
It won't be the first time I've lost, you know.
Well, that's a fucking good response, man. Good way to wrap it up. Mr. Tony Chingon.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your time, Brass.
Appreciate it, boss.
Thanks for everything.
Thank you.
Yeah, appreciate it, man.
You got it anytime.